Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. This is Luna Wisdom Tarot and I'm excited to bring another pick a card reading to you. This one is Why You're Meant to Be a Star. And I wanted to do this reading. I saw it done by another tarot card reader. I can't remember who it was, but I just love the subject. So let's go ahead and get into it. So I have, of course, 3 piles. The first pile, which has green aventurine, and this is the star. So does this one resonate with you? Then the next one is actually a geode that I broke open here. It's pretty. And this one is also the star. This one is from the Supernatural tarot deck, so the show Supernatural. If you're a fan, I suggest you get it. They have some really cool cards. And this is the Spirit Quartz. Get a good look at that. It's kind of purpley. I don't think it comes across on camera. It probably looks a little bit more white, but it's like a light purple white. There's a pretty crystals here as well. And this one is the star. And this one is out of This Might Hurt Tarot. And the first one is out of the Light Seers Tarot deck. So go ahead and meditate and pick one that resonates with you. And yeah, that's it. Join me at your pile. All right. Hi, pile 1. So if you chose this stone, all right, and then the star card that you selected, perfect. So before we get started, just want to remind you that for this pick a card, for the pick a card sessions, they're general readings, so you take what resonates and leaves the rest. And with that, we're going to go ahead and get started. I am asking for pile 1, why you're meant to be a star. Why you're meant to be a star. Okay. Got a few. The Chariot card. 2 of Cups. 7 of Swords. And I'm going to move my candle up a little bit. It's kind of in the way. Okay. King of Pentacles. All right. Or Knight of Pentacles. My apologies. Okay. Why you're meant to be a star. So we start out with the Chariot card. When we think about this, you have a sense of internal drive. When you go after something, you're determined, you're willful. And this is something that is actually very congruent with the star card, and the fact that, when we think about the star card, there's a sense of inspiration and living on purpose, really having like a calling. And if you think about that and you combine it with the Chariot card here, notice that there's a star on top of a crown. That's an interesting confirmation there. And then I also am brought to the fact that there's a lot of 7s in your reading. So you have 17, 7, and 7. That may mean something to you, so just keep that in mind. If 7 means something to you, or 17, you may want to check out angel number like 17 or 77, 77. But that may hold some significance for you, especially for this reading. But anyway, so when we look at this, there's a sense of mastery. She's standing on top of 2 motorcycles here. She has what appears to be a wand in her hand, a crown with a star on top. It's this mastery, the sun coming behind her. She is determined, she's confident. We see like smoke coming off in the background, so obviously she's moving with speed and with momentum. And that is a quality that you have. You have this quality that you can be like in control and at the same time moving with incredible momentum, that determination, being just self assured. This is part of some of your strongest qualities. So this card is followed up by the Two of Cups. And so this energy kind of flexes more to like internal, right? So we see this couple, they're hugging here. They're both holding two cups, of course. Then you have duality all throughout the card with two snakes kind of curving and looking at each other. And then this lion on top. When we think of the Two of Cups energy, we think about what it represents. It represents a sense of course, partnership and love, but there's also a unity here, some sort of unified. What I see this for you is that you have this ability to unify people. You have this ability to make people feel very comfy and at home. So maybe you have just a super welcoming home environment. You invite people over. Maybe your place is a house to meet up at before going out, or you just, have a lot of parties. But there's something about your energy here where you just help people feel incredibly comfortable and at ease. And especially like what I'm getting is like in stressful situations, especially, people will lean on you for that sense of stability. So when we look at this card and what it represents here, you really have this strength about you to just kind of hold down the fort when people's emotions are kind of going all over the place or in difficult times. People know that they can rely on you. And so, to follow that amazing quality up, we have the Seven of Swords. So, the Seven of Swords kind of switches energy a little bit because this talks about how there's times in life where you have to get away. And so, like, if you notice here, this guy is running away. You understand how to evaluate situations and to leave situations that are no longer serving you. You understand the value of that. You understand the value of keeping your peace versus staying and we'll say not just overstaying your welcome, but overstaying a situation when something's not going to change. You are really great about being able to kind of read between the lines and note when it's like, okay, I've hung in too long, it's time to go. So you have this really great sense of balance about you. And that's a huge quality as well. So if we take it back looking at the Two of Cups, why this is such a great quality, if you have this natural, we'll say like inviting, warm energy, a lot of times that could be associated with somebody who doesn't set boundaries for themselves or they put themselves last. This is actually representation that you actually have a good balance of when enough is enough, when it's time to let go. If somebody has betrayed you or has not taken care of you, or you just realize the situation holds no more for you, you know how to walk away. You don't overstay, wait it out. You're not that type. You're really great about taking the emotion out of it and just moving on. So that is an incredible quality. The next quality that you have is reflected in the Knight of Pentacles. So when we think about Pentacles, of course, we think about wealth, but because it's at the Knight level, we also want to think about the fact conservation and working with hard work and having a focus for the future, understanding that the skills, understanding that things take time to build. So you're really good about building things, about conserving your energy when you need to conserve your energy, about moving forward with hard work and diligence when you need to. That is reflected by the Knight of Pentacles. So you have a very balanced energy. You have an energy on one hand that is very, we'll say, loving and nurturing and supportive. You also have the balance of that, where you know how to set boundaries and you're not going to be overly pushed in one direction or the other. And then you also have the Chariot, and the Chariot kind of represents all that driving factor about you, the things that show that you have willpower, that you are like going after success, and you know you'll have it, and you have that passion and that forethought. The back of the deck for this particular tarot deck that I pulled is the Judgment card. So that wraps up this part of the reading as far as this first tarot deck. We'll pull some more. But let's explore the Judgment card before I start pulling more cards. The Judgment card talks about an inner calling. There's a sense about you where you know you're meant for more. You have always operated with that mentality, and it's probably quiet to just you, meaning that the people around you, but they may not know that. Maybe they do, but I have a feeling that they don't. And that actually adds to who you are and what makes you the star, because you understand this inner calling, this drive is something that is almost like a precious gift, and you're trying to weigh out how and what that means. So it could be that you're pursuing your purpose and trying to figure out what your purpose is. If that's the case, if this resonates with you, this is confirmation. It's going to come together for you very quickly, because when we start to ask those questions, then it's almost like the universe conspires to show us the answer, and it's probably right in front of you. Frankly, a lot of times it is for us, but if you're seeking kind of like, what is the next step for me? If it's not necessarily your formal purpose, it could be like, hey, I've gone this far, I'm at this stage, I desire more, but I don't even know what I'm desiring. Clarification's coming. Okay, so we're going to pull some more cards. Pull a few more tarot cards. Why are you meant to be the star? So we looked at like kind of general stuff, but like I think this is going to build out more about your life. So the first one is the Seven of Cups came out upright. I'm sorry, the Eight of Cups. We have the Six of Swords. So we have some Pisces energy as well. The Hanged Man in reverse. The Eight of Cups also came out in reverse. The Hierophant in reverse. Okay. And the Nine of Cups in reverse. A lot of reversals tonight. Okay. Cool. So, the question is, why you're meant to be a star? So we're kind of playing off of what we just talked about, you know, and the fact that knowing when to like walk away, and sometimes there could be like not really being clear on where you're headed. So the Eight of Cups kind of talks about a sense of indecision. So right now, currently in your life, there may be something that it's just you're struggling with finding an answer for. The Eight of Cups is a confirmation of that, which is crazy because we were just talking about that as I was flipping the cards. So you may be at a point where it's either hard for you to make a decision, like you have a decision in front of you and you're kind of weighing your options and having a difficult time coming to resolution, either being able to see the pros and cons at such a level where it all kind of plays out the same, or you're just not ready to pull the trigger. There can also be a sense of indecision, meaning that you know you need to do something, but you're not even clear where to focus and what to get started on. And so that could also be an aspect for you. So if that's the case, then we're going to ask for clarification on this card. And I'll do that right now. I'm going to do it in a different deck. We can get a clarifying card on the indecision decision. Nine of Wands, top of the Eight of Cups. Okay. So Nine of Wands. Okay, what I get from this card, I actually pull this card a lot for myself when I'm doing personal readings. It's interesting because it's like for you, I have a feeling that you've been kind of at this indecision point or having to make this choice for a while, and it's causing a lot of frustration. Like you've made a lot of hard choices and you've done a lot of things, and so you feel like at this point you're getting a little tired. I mean, you've been resilient. You've definitely been resilient. I get that totally here. It's like you're getting a little tired because it feels like it's just one thing after another. If that resonates with you, then know this is your final push. This is the final moment. Picture it like a runner who's about to circle to the, like if you watch any type of race, how the runner, they go around their final lap and like how they're like, now they see the finish line, like they see where they're going to cross. That's where you're at. It's literally the final push. We're not talking about you have even a full lap yet. You don't. You're like looking at the finish line. So don't give up. Keep pushing. Let's get some more clarification on here. So that's for the people who are kind of struggling with the decision and just decision fatigue. And I get that. My goodness. It's so hard. This card jumped right out. So another clarifying card on this deck. On this particular subject for indecision. So we have, it's a horse. It's 5 of Cups. Some more cup energy. So 5 of Cups. If you have a sense of, if you're afraid of like regretting your choice, which that's what I'm getting here, is that could be one of the things that's holding you in indecision. So for my people who are in indecision, if you're terrified of like having regret or disappointing yourself, you won't. Like you're not going to disappoint yourself. Making the choice, leading into what you believe is right, will lead exactly where you want to go. Because because the indecision right now is actually more painful than either choice you can make, because at least you're committing to something. Some of the problem with indecision is over time it drives us crazy because it's like we feel stagnant. So if you're worried about regret, take it off the table. And even if you go down a road and then you decide to go back down on another road, it's okay because at least you're moving forward. So that's kind of something to just keep in mind. We all struggle with that though. I know I do. Like there's times where I can't make a choice, and so then I sit with it, but it's like, how long do you sit? So if that resonates with you, just make a choice, go for it, and no, not a big deal. You can reverse out, go another way, another path if it doesn't make sense for you. You can always redo it. So just make a decision, try to move on. Okay, the next card up. All right, so this is the 4 of Swords. And the 4 of Swords is talking about, for you, taking time for yourself to get really clear. I think this kind of goes back to that indecision decision. It's kind of playing on what we're just talking about, that clarification. Getting clear on what you want, the best way to do that is by making sure you're getting time to rest, you're getting time to, a little time alone to really like think about what you want and just have, sometimes when we ask for like people's opinions, it becomes the loudest voice in our head, and it's hard for us to get clear on our feelings and our thoughts on it, especially when we've been struggling with the decision for a long time. So if that's you, that's fine. Like, again, no judgment. I've been there for sure. Just now this is the time to, if you just get some rest and maybe take some time alone and really be intentional about it, this is going to lead you to a decision that much faster, and to a decision you feel confident in. The Hanged Man. This one, it came out in reverse as well, but this talks about, there's a sense of stalling, so we're kind of talking about the same subject of, it's just hard to make a decision. Not a big deal there. I'm not going to beat a dead horse. But just remember, like, your indecision is a decision. So at some point, you're going to have to move. So it's like, if you're feeling like that, I'm going to grab a clarifying card, like, because again, I don't want to beat a dead horse. I feel like it shows something. Yep, Daughter of Wands. So the Daughter of Wands in this deck comes out to be the Page of Wands. And the Page of Wands speaks of just not like being responsible and not taking on other people's burdens. So it makes me wonder if maybe some of your decision is because you're spending time kind of taking care of others and not giving yourself the right amount of rest and the right amount of attention to be able to just kind of handle this decision and move forward. So you are the star and you're meant to be the star. So whatever you need to do to take care of yourself, you're number one. Remember, you have to fill your own cup first before you help others. So this is just confirmation to do that. And if you feel like, well, if I don't do it, it won't get done, you have to take care of yourself first and just know, like, it doesn't mean you're not going to do anything. It's not all or nothing, but it does mean finding time for yourself, even if it's, if you're busy, if you're a parent, or if you're, just working jobs and, just busy. Everybody's so busy, like taking 15 minutes for yourself, taking some quiet time and kind of reconnecting with yourself, maybe going for a walk, listening to music, meditating, whatever works for you. The answer will come really quickly. So it's not going to be torturous for you. It's going to just naturally flow. And definitely send me a comment if that happens for you, because I feel like it's going to happen really easily. Like when I said 15 minutes, I didn't say an hour, 2 hours, or even a day. Like it's going to come fast. I think it's just about stepping out of whatever's kind of distracting you and just sitting with it, and boom, you have the answer and you will move forward with complete certainty. Okay, the Hierophant. So this talks about you have immense freedom, and there's a lot of things about you that are unconventional in a great way. And you have a sense of, you have the ability to have blind faith. And that ability is such a strength, because that is what's going to get you through all of your challenges. Because when you're able to tap into your self-faith, that's everything. Like faith in yourself is huge, and faith in your decision making. I think that kind of goes back to that concept of 15 minutes and you can do it. You're a very decisive person. It's just finding the time and kind of getting your mind clear of everything is incredibly important. And the other thing that you have, your qualities that makes you a star, is you have this natural sense of like joy, and there's a little bit of like, you have fun and you know how to indulge and you know how to like enjoy like the nicer things of life. It doesn't mean you're spending a lot of money, but it's just, there's something about you that puts off like, you know how to enjoy your money. So it doesn't matter how much you have, you just know how to enjoy it really well. And you have a good time, you have a good balance of that. The other thing you're really great at is just exuding a sense of inner happiness and a sense of contentment. People pick up on that as well, and that's also what makes you the star. Okay, we're going to switch over to some oracle cards now. I'm going to pull from the Work Your Light Tarot deck first. What makes Pile 1 the star? This one's called the Pillar of Light. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. You have a really great gut instinct. This is why it's only going to take you 15 minutes to clear up whatever type of indecision you have. And you may be listening to this and being like, yeah, right. But like, really, it's not going to take you long. You're just one of those people where you're just dialed in. You just get it. And you could be very decisive. So, yes, you're the oracle. You're the one in your life that can make this choice and be good with it. Like, you have the perspective and the vision to do what you need to do, whatever this decision is. Very curious what it is, but it can go all sorts of ways. Been talking. A longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. This card could resonate with you. You could be a light worker. If nothing else, you could be someone who's just like believes in bringing a higher vibration to the planet. You You're the type of person where you want to bring the best to everyone. I saw that in the cards because of the Daughter of Wands. Like, you have this ability to just want to support people and take care of them and make sure that they're good. And, you know, it's it's a great quality to have. Like, you're just one of those people where you just go for it, you know? Like, you're not going to do anything on somebody else, like at somebody else's detriment. Okay? Share your voice. Come out of the cave. See that? It's a beautiful card. This is about expression. Whatever you need to express, the time is now. And this is what makes you a star, because you have the ability to express things in a beautiful way. And I don't know if like you're an artist, like maybe you're like a poet, a musician, an actor, like whatever it is, your expression, people resonate with it. Like they can just they're really in tune with it. You can be an artist, like a painter or whatever, like whatever way you use your expression. Doesn't even mean just your voice. It says share your voice, and yes, that's absolutely there. But it could be your voice through creativity. You have an incredible gift, and using that gift is really the key. Anytime you can lean into that, it will serve you very well. And then here's the next card. Trust the niggle. What is niggling feeling trying to tell you? Okay. So if you have like a gut feeling you should be going after something, which that's what I view the niggle as, this is a confirmation to really think about it and think about next steps for it. And maybe this actually directly relates to your indecision decision. Not really sure, but whatever it is, it's all about kind of going quiet within yourself, doing whatever makes sense for you, and thinking about what is driving that, you know, like what is it trying to tell you? And I think that all of that will become clear so quickly for you. This isn't going to be one of those things where you're like on it for a long time. Like you'll be on it for a very short period of time and you'll just get clarity and move on. This is going to be kind of a wham bam situation. Okay. So some advice. Communication is key. I'm pulling from the Moonology Oracle deck. So communication with the people in your life is key. And it could play, honestly, very well with share your voice. It could play very well with that energy, because ultimately sharing your voice, communication, this is what you're meant to do. You're meant to really show people with your expression and come out of the cave, right? Like step out into where you're meant to be. The energy is gaining momentum. Absolutely, I see this. The waxing moon is coming. Whatever you're after, whatever this goal is coming. And this is just further confirmation of that. Okay. What other things does pile I need to do to manifest this faster? Balance of spirituality and practicality. Full moon in Pisces. Pisces could have some significance to you. It could be in your chart, could be in someone else's chart that you're dealing with, especially when we talk about communication. There could be a full moon in Pisces, you know, during a time that's significant for you, or, but yeah, so that's good. And then the last one, don't let your pride get in the way. Full moon in Leo. Same thing for the Leo energy here. I would say not getting your pride in the way. It's not that you're a prideful person, just for clarity. I feel like it may be if you need to ask for help or if you need to take time away for yourself, not letting like that self-pride, like I can do everything, get in the way. Like it's not a bad thing to ask for time for yourself. Okay, and I'm going to pull a final card here. This is from the Goddess and Sirens tarot deck. Goddess Sirens Oracle deck, and it's just going to be like what goddess or siren kind of represents your journey right now, and it could help you like what you want to research. Bridget, healing. So maybe look into Bridget and see if her energy kind of resonates with you. I can grab the book really quick because they always have like a quick little write-up on them. Okay, here's what it says. Your time of healing is here. Past hurts will recede. Be inspired to create. This in itself is healing. It's your birthright to create. It's a perfect card for you. It is your birthright to create. It's all confirmed here. You are the star. Embrace it. And I can't wait to hear what you're creating, but I know it's already meant to be. It's definitely, you're a talented individual. All right. Thanks for joining me for this reading. I really appreciate your time. If you enjoyed the reading, if it resonated, please like and subscribe. Send me a comment. Let me know what your thoughts were. But again, thank you for spending time with me. And yeah, look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care. Hello, Pile 2. Thanks for joining my reading. We are going to talk about why you're meant to be a star. And you selected the star card from the Supernatural Tarot deck. And the geode here. It's the stone you selected. Sorry, I held that kind of weird. Let me do it this way. Okay, cool. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started here. Get that back in frame. Cool. So, why is pile 2 meant to be a star? So please keep in mind this reading will be general. So if you have any, take what resonates with you, leave the rest. Because it's a general reading, probably all won't resonate, but there should be some messages here for you. And if not, feel free to check out another deck for another reading. Okay, first card out, 5 of Cups in reverse. Queen of Cups. Oh. 7 of Pentacles. Okay, why are you meant to be a star? Page of Cups in reverse. A lot of water energy. Could be a water sign, doesn't mean you are, but you could be. Two of Swords. Okay. All right. Why are you meant to be the star? So the star energy, and the way I read it here, you offer a sense of hope to people as he's looking up and there's stars, and that's his reflection of how he's looking up is kind of a reflection of how people see you. They see you in a position of aspiration. They see you as someone that they have faith in, and that they feel like you give them a sense of hope just by being who you are. Like, we may have known people like this in our lives that offer a sense of hope, and that is something that they definitely feel. So, you know, when it transitions to the 5 of Cups, it transitions to 5 of Cups in reverse, and that energy is about a sense of peace and being able to have acceptance. You bring that to people just naturally by who you are, and that's one of the things that, you know, why you're the star. Because it's one thing to, we'll say, kind of pretend you're okay with something, but it's quite another to actually truly accept it and to show this kind of sense of peace as you move through the world. People feel that. They feel your peaceful nature. They feel how you go with the flow. Someone who's not, they would call you maybe unassuming. Like you're not going to be a person who is super aggressive or someone who pushes your ideals on someone else. Like you respect everybody's lane. You also are not a Pollyanna. You know, in the Five of Cups, you see how all the cups are spilled. This person they're not blind. They see that, some things have been lost, but they're also very well aware that they still have a couple of cups left. So it's like on one hand, the acceptance is there, and you have peace with that, and you move on. You're not like mourning the past. You're not constantly in nostalgia mode without and not moving forward. Like it's not going to distract you. Loss won't distract you. You'll feel it, but you also have that balance. This is followed up beautifully by the Queen of Cups. If we think about the Queen of Cups, this is a reflection of your mastery, of your emotional energy. This is compassion. Again, with the calmness, with the comfort. Look at her. She's sitting here. She's very calm. She's, looking into her cup of water. She looks completely content. This represents so much about who you are, and people feel that. So it's like when they see you as a star, that's why they see you this way. This sense of hope that they have, like, oh my God, the world could be a better place because pile 2 exists. That's how people feel about you. Now, I need you to absorb this because you may be like, no, I'm okay. No, people they look up to you. You're not, the way you move through the world is not common. And it's highly appreciated and highly needed. The people in your life really do respect you and respect what you bring to the table, and also find you inspirational because of how you do it. Okay, so that brings us to the Seven of Pentacles. This talks about you do have this ability of investing in your future. You're the type of person that will work hard for what your goals are. You will aspire for greatness. You will become an expert in something. You'll work toward that, and you'll just keep going until you can harvest the fruit. In this case, harvest, the pentacles. So the other thing that you notice about this card is you notice how he's been working, because it almost implies sweat in the drawing. I don't know if you can see that here, but like right here around his collar and everything. So he's been working, but what is he doing right now? He's not working. He's stopping and appreciating how far he's come. He's stopping and accepting, like, oh, wow, like this is happening. Like I've done this, and there's a sense of satisfaction. This is an area where if you're not doing it, start doing it. Start pausing along the way and appreciating your work to this point. This will help you manifest anything you want that much faster. Is that pause, is that appreciation, right? It's kind of sitting in what you've done and not constantly being part of kind of like that rat race thought process of, okay, on to the next. You don't have to do that here. Okay, so we're following up with the Page of Cups in reverse. The Page of Cups in reverse talks about there's definitely been times where you may have struggled with family or had some sort of difficulty with emotional, like people being kind of emotionally immature in your life. Because you hold such strong energy this way and you're so balanced, unfortunately with that may mean that people in our life could be family or friends, but you've had this exposure to like emotional immaturity and having to be the mature one in the room, or having to be the one who kind of just, we'll say, like, just helps things go, and you don't like ruffle any feathers, and you kind of turn the other cheek kind of thing. And with that can be very disappointing. If you're experiencing that, this is a confirmation for you that unfortunately sometimes when people do see you as this hope and this light and you're such a great person, all these things, there are times where you feel like you have to set this example, and especially with people who may or may not appreciate that you're doing that because they are so immature, they probably don't see it. And so with that, this is an acknowledgement, and it's an acknowledgement that could be frustrating at times, right? It's not an easy place to be when you're this far and developed in who you are. It's not always easy to feel like you're in service of others constantly and always having to be the mature one in the room. I want to acknowledge that for you, and then also bring up, like, if you're feeling that way, just know people do see that and they do appreciate it. And those people in your life that are more difficult, just know that, like, there's counter to that, right? There's going to be people in your life who see what you're bringing and they're so appreciative for it. So I would say just sit with that and acknowledge that for yourself as you go through those difficult times. The Two of Swords talks about a little bit more on this, which is when you have to make difficult decisions and feeling blindfolded, like almost like you're at an impasse. If these relationships have hit a point of difficulty where you do feel like you're at an impasse, again, I'm so sorry, because I know those things are a struggle, especially with family and friends, like trying to figure out what you want to do, maybe trying to just avoid certain circumstances, avoid, going to parties or going to certain locations. We'll say, like, going to happy hour, whatever, like, just because you don't want to deal with certain people because you feel that burden. If that's the case, this is a confirmation for you. And let's get some advice on that, because that's where we left off with these initial cards. Let's get some advice using more tarot. We're going to ask, how can pile 2 work out of this energy and resolve, these difficult times, especially with other family members, or it doesn't have to be family members. It could be workmates. It could be, like colleagues. It could be like a business partner at work. It can be anything, right? It could be neighbors. It's just people who are reflecting emotional maturity. How do you work through that? Okay, first card out, it's Page of Swords in reverse. So we follow up with that Swords energy. This is the Six of Pentacles, upright. So we saw a lot of Cup energy so far in this reading. So I do wonder about that. Okay, and then Six of Cups. I'm sorry, Nine of Cups. So Nine of Cups on top of Seven of Pentacles. Abundance is coming. Man, you're an abundant deck for sure, or abundant pile. Ace of Wands. All right. Three of Swords. Okay, and you actually got an extra card here, which I'll put to the side for now. The Devil in reverse. Okay. We'll see if we need any clarifiers as we work through this, but all right. Page of Swords. Page of Swords. When we follow up this kind of discussion, we had the Two of Swords, which is like feeling like you have a difficult decision to make because you've had, like, we'll say this struggle with emotional immature people, and just like being at this stage in your life where you're feeling a bit disappointed, and people bringing their insecurity into the mix, areas where your wonderful qualities actually kind of, we'll say, trigger them, right, and make them insecure. What the Page of Swords talks about here is self-expression. The first thing here is using self-expression to your advantage, whatever that means for you, but not letting people, not having to sit purely in your maturity, but being able to express yourself in a mature way is totally safe here. So hopefully that message resonates with somebody, but it's okay to speak your truth. It's okay to speak your mind. And handle it. You're very mature. You understand human behavior and emotion, and you respect it, and you're like just kind of like this cruisy, like awesome energy. So you're gonna know how to manage it and handle it well. And I think that maybe has been a hesitation for you to stand up because you're afraid of how you're gonna handle it. So then you just hold yourself back. You don't have to. You really don't have to. You have the skills to stand up and speak your truth and to say something. So that's what this talks about, is self-expression. You can go ahead and express yourself. It's time. You have the ability to do so. You'll know how to approach it in a way that's not emotional, in a way that's very factual, but you can handle it. And know that that's okay to do so. You don't have to just take on whatever people's throwing out at you, especially when it's negative. You don't have to do that. You really don't. It doesn't make you a bad person. Remember, you're the star. You are the person that people look to as inspiration, as hope. So it's okay for you to do these things. It's okay for you to speak your mind. Okay. 6 of Pentacles. This talks about how giving you are, how you freely will share what you have, your wealth. So in this instance, he's kind of like handing out food to beggars. Let me hold up the card so you can see the picture. Okay. You will give the shirt off your back. You're that kind of person. You're very giving. You may work with charities or help others. Like if there's like a GoFundMe, you're quick to participate. That's your energy. Lean into that if like you're pushing back and you're expressing yourself, lean into remember who you are. Because no matter what somebody comes back to you at, lean into the fact that you're the 6 of Pentacles. You're a giver. You're a lover. You support people. Like, you're not a bad person. And you get to, like, call out people who aren't treating you with respect. That's okay. So I think that card was like a confirmation for you that your behavior and standing up for yourself is okay. And you're a very balanced person as well. So just know, again, trusting yourself that you can handle this. There's the 9 of Cups that follows up next, which is really about wishes being fulfilled, and you have so much emotional stability, and we've talked about this, right? And the 9 of Cups continues to enforce this message that we got from the Queen of Cups. You really have such an emotional stability, and at the same time, like on top of the 7 of Pentacles, like you have a gratitude and you have this ability to kind of sit back and appreciate. If you're not doing it, you will start doing it, right? Appreciate how far you've come. But this card, your wishes are going to be granted. You've brought a lot into this world and a lot of positive energy and support. Your wishes will be granted. So this is a confirmation for you that you're on the right track. We have the Ace of Wands here that follows it up, which is actually talking about kind of a new start, a new creative start. So if you are having like this urge to create, or if you just have this desire to move forward, and maybe there's something there where you're a little bit hesitant, start your new project. Go after it. Do what you need to do. This is confirmation that the time is now. You can really accomplish anything that you want, of course, but it sounds like you're feeling that itch, and if you're not yet, you will be soon. So yes, go after it. Start that new opportunity. It's okay to grow. It's okay to focus on yourself. You've brought a lot into this world. You fulfill people just by walking in a room and who you are. Your energy is incredible. So know that, and know it's okay to take care of yourself now. It's okay to start a new project and to get excited about something, and not to put too much attention into the naysayers in your life. Okay, and that brings us to the 3 of Swords. It's on top of the 2 of Swords, that hard decision. This is a card where it talks about, there's going to be times where our expression and a sense of expansion can have a few stages of complexity. It can have stages where we feel, some pain or some loss, or it sometimes it's not always like, we'll say, all good at the beginning. So if you have a little bit of, we'll say, a bumpy road or a bumpy start, that's okay. Just know, sometimes things have a bumpy start. Like, I think about certain things in my life, like starting it was kind of difficult, and wanting to be, farther down the line, looking at people who are farther down the line and maybe seeing them and being like, well, hey, they had all this support when they started. I didn't have any, and I don't have any support right now. Or, hey, like they were naturally so good and they're able to skip all these steps, and I wasn't able to do that. It's like, if you're finding yourself do that, just resist. Lean back into this Nine of Cups energy and the Seven of Pentacles. Appreciate how far you've come. Stop and appreciate the work that you've done, and lean into, if something is causing you a bit of heartbreak, is causing you a bit of emotional pain, relationships that maybe are strained, lean into the fact that it's not going to last for forever. You'll get through it, but it's important that you continuously take care of yourself. And so by pivoting those emotions into a new project, maybe a new creative endeavor, or maybe it's just simply being open to growth, it's going to lead you in the right direction. Then you have the Devil card. All right. The Devil card in reverse, in fact. This talks about releasing any limiting beliefs around what you want to do. You have the freedom to go after what you want. And I think this card actually would be best served if I put it in between these cards, because that's really how it came out and what it's about, right? Came out as the back of the deck. At this point in your life, really embrace your freedom. You have the freedom to let go of, we'll say, putting people's opinions in a higher position than they should be. You have the freedom to just kind of put them back. Like, okay, they have that opinion, and move on, and not give it any more attention than it deserves. It's important for you to focus on the fact on why you are meant to be the star. Why are you meant to be the star? That's what we've been talking about. That's what you should be focusing on. Trying to see if there's any need for clarification on any of these cards. I think, maybe the only card I'll do is the Page of Swords, because this came out pretty clear. Yep. Nine of Cups. How crazy. Same as this card. Confirmation. To reinforce the message of Nine of Cups, we're talking about wish fulfillment. Being satisfied with where you're at, but, a sense of stability as well, a sense of contentment, but you're getting more wishes fulfilled. Know that, embrace that. Also, the Three of Wands came out, and I think that probably goes somewhere like there. So the Three of Wands, it's time to look ahead with excitement and really starting to think, what do you want to manifest? Leaving this reading as the star, ask yourself, what do I want to manifest? And really just think about it and allow yourself to get excited. If the universe was your catalog, you can pick whatever you wanted from it. What do you want to manifest? Think about it. Allow yourself to expand. Allow yourself to get excited, because it's coming in for you. It's really just whatever you want. Okay, we're going to start pulling some oracle cards. The first one's going to be from the Work Your Light Tarot deck. And we're going to ask why you're meant to be a star. And this is more about what tips, right? Because now we know why you're meant to be a star, but what do you need to do to keep that at the forefront of your mind, especially when life gets challenging? Break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing and rewriting the future. I think this plays very well into the manifestation card we talked about. When we say break the chain and healing, what I'm leaning into on this card is more about rewriting the future. What were we just asking? What do you want to manifest? Rewrite your future. Whatever the way you're seeing your future is like practical now, or it would be nice to have this, time to really push that on its head. You are the star, and you are the person who brings inspiration and faith to others. It's okay to ask for your craziest dream. You don't have to tell anybody your craziest dream, but it's okay to ask for it and to say, this is what I want, and to manifest it out. The age of light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. You have been trained for this for lifetimes. I see it with all the emotional maturity that came out. You're so ready for this. Whatever, like I said, whatever you want to manifest, the universe is literally your open catalog. This isn't like one of these things where you tell somebody that and they're just like, oh, okay, and it's just like, just to encourage them. No, this is the truth. This is coming out in the cards. You really have done so much work just by, like they said, for several lifetimes, but just by being you through this lifetime and just actively just being a better person every day for no other reason than that's driving who you are. It's driving, it's at a soul level, it's your drive. That's good. Allow it to happen. Pleiades, double mission, channeling and uplifting humanity. I may have a few spiritual people here, Reiki healers, tarot card readers, psychics, mediums, light workers, like starseeds, you name it. You're here to uplift humanity. Man, this is so perfect with how the star card came out for you. Again, hope and inspiration. That's just you walking into a room. That is who you are. That is what people feel about you. That is why you're the star. This is further confirmation of that. Don't forget these things about yourself. Boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? How ironic this card falls on the two sword cards that are kind of talking about people in your life who are pushing boundaries. Wherever you need to establish better boundaries, this is confirmation. Go ahead and do it. You're ready. You can handle it. You can handle it. Whatever you're afraid of, you have the maturity, the voice, the mastery of expression. You can do this. You can totally do this. First card out actually came out for pile 1. Balance spirituality and practicality. Full moon in Pisces. You reflect a balance of both right now. Spirituality and practicality. For you, I think just reminding yourself you can lean in. You are safe to lean in to your spirituality. You don't always have to lean into practicality, especially with it coming out with the double mission card. I feel the need to say that. It's okay to lean in to your spirituality. In fact, you should. You know, it's not, your practicality will always be there. A fiery climax approaches. You have some big changes coming. And we saw that even with, you know, your cups energy, it's coming. You have a lot to look forward to. Full moon in Aries. So you have Pisces in your chart. You can have Aries in your chart. You could be a water sign. We saw a lot of water energy in this reading. Doesn't have to be. Or those moons could be significant this year for you. Have faith in your dreams. Further confirmation. Have faith in your dreams. You're going to manifest it, right? Remember, 3 of Cups? You're going to manifest this. Final card. Adjustments are required. 3rd quarter moon. Adjustments are required. What is it on top of? Boundaries. Set boundaries with the people in your life you need to set boundaries with. And be okay with that. It doesn't mean anything other than you are not responsible for other people's emotions. You're not responsible for how they receive you. You can deal with them politely and respectfully, but it doesn't mean that they can just roll over you. Okay. I'm pulling now from, my favorite card in the deck. I'm pulling now from the Goddess and Sirens Oracle deck, and I wanted to figure out like what goddess can like guide you at this stage, and what messages would be effective. And we have here, we hold it up, Freya, irresistibility. So, Freya, irresistibility. I'm just going to read a quick line from the book here. Looking it up now. Here we go. We are all irresistible in our own ways. Enjoyment is the natural part of life. Center yourself and be confident among chaos. This is perfect for your reading. Be confident among chaos. You're irresistible, and we started it that way, right? You're the star that promotes inspiration and hope for others. Embrace it and know what you're bringing to the world, even among chaos. You'll be fine. You're the star. All right, thank you so much, Pal 2. I hope you enjoyed your reading. Please like, share, subscribe, and, shoot me a comment if this resonated with you. I'd love to hear from you. But otherwise, thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to you visiting again. All right, have a great day. Bye. Hello, Pile 3. Thanks for joining the reading. We're going to talk about why you're meant to be a star. So if you selected the Spirit Quartz, and this card from This Might Hurt Tarot deck, the Star, then this is your reading. Okay, so I'm going to pull a few cards here and get this a little bit more organized. Okay. So for Pile 3, why are they meant to be a star? Temperance. Oh, I'm holding the deck upside down. I'm going to flip that. Okay. Actually, I'm so indecisive. Sorry, guys. I'm going to keep it as it fell out. Temperance. Had to be meant to do that. 5 of Cups. Interesting. So the 5 of Cups came out for Pile 2. If Pile 2 resonated with you at all, I would suggest you go back to that reading. The 5 of Cups card came out in reverse. The Tower card. Ooh. Uh-oh. I have a feeling that you guys are that bang star, like the big one. The Holy Grail. Yep. Page of Wands. That fire. I knew it. Pile 3. Oh yeah, 2 of Cups. Ooh, this is a fun one. Okay, let's get started. So the Star. What I see for this card, this version of the Star, and I'll hold it up. I'll let you kind of absorb that a little bit. There's a sense of serenity. There's a sense of mastery. You have mastered spirituality, your intuition, your subconscious, and your conscious. You're on both land and you're in water. There's just a freeness. Of course, she's naked, right? And she's out under the moonlight. There's a sense of, I would say, renewal, where you just kind of can renew what's around you because you have such a developed sense of who you are and acceptance. Okay, so the Temperance card in reverse. The way this came out talks about a sense of self-healing. So if we look at the Temperance in the upright, there's that balance again, right? So now we're seeing kind of a theme if you hold both the cards up together. So you notice here, she has her feet on land, feet in the water. And then you have the moon and the sun. These kind of, they both are the direct opposite of each other, and yet they're in complete balance of each other in both of these cards. When we think about who you are as the star, someone who, like I said, has balanced their subconscious and their conscious mind, meaning you've balanced your actions and you've balanced your practicality, but with your spirituality. You've balanced and learned to work with all aspects of who you are. You're not just working and leaning on one more than the other, which is so rare. Most people will always lean on another. Okay, the Temperance in reverse. All right. So when we look at that card closely, we're seeing with the Temperance, you know, there's just a sense of balance that would naturally occur when you're in congruence, because you know how to self-heal, you know how to realign. But if you're out of congruence, then there could be a sense of imbalance. And so what I'm seeing with this card is actually there's a sense of imbalance, maybe excessively leaning one way or the other. And that's what you have the ability to balance, though, unlike most people. So you're definitely the star. We're just going to kind of talk about how to get you back in balance. We'll ask that question. Okay, now the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is talking about there's a sense of disappointment and disillusionment. And I think it's what I'm seeing here for you is you could be disillusioned with you've come really far in your spiritual journey and you've worked really hard on a lot of different things. And it could feel a little disillusioned by the idea that what's around you no longer serves you anymore. Hence the empty cups around her. But you still have cups left. And I think that's a really important thing to point out. You're still aware that there's more out there. It's just at times it can kind of bring you down. And so that's just a simple acknowledgement. I don't see it as being like a huge problem. It's almost just acknowledging that because you have such a strong sense of balance, it can feel lonely at times. It could feel like you're the only one in the room that has this mastery over who you are. And that could be a really difficult thing. You may feel like because you feel like you have mastery over it, maybe you don't. And I realize the glare is covering this card up, so let me hold it up just to talk about this a little bit more. I don't see a big problem with this card other than more of an acknowledgement. There are things in your life that have caused disappointment, that have led to a bit of, like I said, some disillusionment, and that's okay. That's okay. It's okay to feel those things. Again, you're aware of what you have behind you. It's just right now you're kind of like, yeah, I don't necessarily, like, what's around me isn't serving me anymore, right? They're empty cups. And so that's kind of an acknowledgement of that. But very quickly, without even having to ask for clarity on these cards, the Tower card comes out. Now, the Tower card could often make people nervous because it's such a dramatic card and they're just like, oh my God. But what this is representing for you is a sudden change. It's upheaval. It's happening right away, awakening. You're at a point where the Tower card is coming in, so maybe you felt some disappointment. Maybe you're feeling a little imbalanced at times, but overall, you're right where you need to be. You can level out in seconds. Notice I didn't say minutes, seconds. You can level out. That's not even a problem for you. It's just, again, more like, I feel like I'm in this world and I shouldn't be here anymore. Like, you know, they talk about if you're the smartest person in the room, time to find a new room, right? It's different. It's almost like your spiritual growth and your awakening in your own right means you need to find a new room. And that's what the Tower represents. As you're stepping into a whole new environment, it's going to happen fast. And right now, It's probably you have no vision of how this is going to happen. You probably have faith it's going to happen, but you have no vision. This is confirmation for you if this message is resonating. And I don't know if I said this at the beginning, but let me remind everybody, these readings are general readings. So some will resonate, some may not within the reading. Take what resonates with you, leave the rest. And if I'm going through this reading and it doesn't make sense for you, then of course you can choose another deck. But I feel like for almost everybody here, this should resonate in the fact that you feel like this drive, like it's time to move on. You just don't know how that means for you. So let me break this down further. It could be you want to move somewhere and you don't know where to move, but you know where you're at is almost like taxed. Like you no longer really fit your friends. Maybe you're just ready to move on from your job. Maybe you're just ready to rebuild somewhere else, but there's something stagnant and you want to move forward. It could be looking for a new job. It could be welcoming in a new relationship. It could be volunteering and wanting to do charity work. It can be honestly anything, but whatever that is, you've had this, I don't know how I'm going to get this feeling out, but I feel like I need to move forward. I'm feeling almost stagnant right now. This is a confirmation. You can move forward. This is a confirmation that is coming. You don't really have to do anything. A sudden change is guaranteed with this Tower card. Okay. Now we're going into the Page of Wands. It says it all. I want you to kind of absorb it before we talk about it. She's leaping in the air, throwing a wand in the sky. There's energy all around her. She's looking up with like hope and expectation. There's no doubt. And how much energy is in this card is like she's putting everything she has into her hopeful leap. We were just talking about a sudden change coming your way. For you, all you have to do is be open to freedom, open to explore, have some enthusiasm, be willing to create, be willing to step into your creativity. That's what this card represents. When you think about the wand, magic, manifestation, right? Like you're creating something for yourself. This is what this represents here. So as you're vacillating between these feelings, but I don't see it as a problem. I feel like you know how to get yourself out of it, but sometimes you fall back into it. You get yourself out of it by just thinking about what you're going to manifest, knowing you hold the wand and you're jumping in the air with all of the energy surrounding it, knowing that a sudden change is inevitable, it's coming, it will release, it will be a sense of awakening for you. You've already gone through a spiritual awakening. This is a physical awakening. It's awakening. Anything that's stagnant in your physical life is going to come to life, and it's going to come to life quickly. That's what this card represents. It's momentum, it's passion, it's everything that you're desiring in your soul, and you're just like, when is it coming? It is coming, and the Tower card represents the speed. It's coming fast. The Two of Wands comes in after it. This is a beautiful lineup, because if you look here, let me show you this card and why I love it so much. So she has what I always envision as like a travel guide, because it's like this VW bus with a surfboard. I'm from California, Southern California. This is still a normal sight by the beaches. From Malibu down to San Diego, I've lived all throughout these beaches. I will tell you right now, yes, this is still very common. So she's got her travel guide here. She's holding on to her wand. Following up again, the Page of Wands. You have a lot of creative energy here. Then you have the globe representing again. What is this talking about? She's desiring, she's looking outside. The way I see this card is like you have this intense desire to travel. You have this intense desire for some sort of adventure. So it may not even be physical travel, but I feel for a lot of you it is. It could just be an adventure. You feel bored. You want to do something new. You want some sort of shakeup, maybe living and moving to a different area. Maybe, like I said, it's taking just a leap somewhere into a different job or into charity work or whatever, but you want to experience something new. That's what this card represents. Okay. So I think we should ask, we should go more into tarot about why you're meant to be a star. We're seeing a bit of your journey here, but let's go further. You have some lovely qualities, but like why are you meant to be a star? King of Pentacles. We talked a little bit about circumstance here, so I feel like this is going to come out more about the skills you're bringing to the table. Yep, Three of Pentacles. So with the Pentacle energy, that's Earth energy. So we see Earth and Fire represented. If you're Earth or Fire sign, that could be a confirmation. It could be in your chart. It doesn't have to be, but that can be a confirmation for you. King of Swords. The Empress in reverse. The Empress, when it came out, I heard, don't let creative blocks get you down. I don't know if that's specifically for someone, but okay. And then the Eight of Pentacles. All right. So let's get into it. More information on why you're meant to be the star. We talk about here at first is the Knight of Pentacles, and that leans into hard work. It leans into having a sense of responsibility, being efficient, being productive. You have all of these qualities, and they're wonderful qualities. But what I see right out the gate, especially with what we're talking about with the Tower, and your kind of explosive need to just go outward and to have some, we'll say some adventures. The Knight of Pentacles represents how solid of a person you are, how consistent your life has been, and probably some of the reasons why you're getting bored. These are wonderful qualities, but at times routines can wear us down. You are the star energy. You're meant to have routines and also be free-flowing. You're the balance of both energies. You're both the moon and the sun as represented by the Temperance. You are both. So leaning on one side or the other, that's where imbalance happens. So ironically, this works as a clarification. If you have been leaning very heavily into routines, very heavily to being productive and getting your stuff done and working hard, that's all lovely. But now it's time to plan something that's a little bit more on the water and a little bit more free-flowing, a little bit more intuitive, right? Plan something to disrupt a little bit of that energy, because right now that could be what's throwing you out of balance a little bit. We follow up with the Three of Pentacles. This card is about teamwork. It's about learning. Again, it's collaboration, right? For you, you are doing these things. But in the initial read, and before we put these cards on top, you will notice every one of these is a single person. This is a reminder to disrupt your, like in both of these cards, because this was in reverse, well, we talked about it, right? Maybe you're leaning too much on the hard work side, too much on being productive. And then for here, the fact that, like I said, you could pull yourself out of it, but at times you do get down. At times you are disillusioned. Leaning into teamwork will really help you. Leaning into people of like mind, leading into your tribe. And if you don't have a tribe, starting to seek it out, that would really help you. Because right now it is hard. You are doing a juggling at times, leaning too far on one end. Having a support system will help you balance out. Okay, and that brings up the King of Swords. All right, so the King of Swords, this is head over heart. It's decisive energy. It's a sense of authority, of course. But with this energy, there's complete clarity. It's on top of the Tower card, When this tower hits, you will have complete clarity on what you need to do. There'll be no hesitation. You will know. You will know. It will be a gut reaction is happening. So for you here, know with the King of Swords, your next steps will be decisive and swift. You will be so clear. We will call it a moment of clarity. And it will just be instantly. So that's fantastic. So just know, a lot of times with tarot cards, we get stressed out about it, but there's nothing to be stressed out about. If anything, this is when you come alive. This is when this energy is completely dead and you don't have to try to mentally remind yourself how to get out of it. It's gone. It's killing that cycle because you just need to reinvigorate and step into new energy. The Empress in reverse. With, when the Empress initially came out, I talked about creative blocks. As I'm looking at this further, don't allow yourself to be indecisive with your next move. So remember here, we have the Page of Wands. You have so much to look forward to. You have new adventures coming. Don't let a sense of indecisiveness or creative blocks stop you on your path. Keep your King of Swords in energy as you move into this next phase. Be decisive, make decisions, be clear, and move on. Don't even entertain a sense of vacillating with what you need to do. Don't get back into this topsy-turvy energy. You don't have to. You have it. You're naturally the star, and you're the star, need I remind you, who is naturally serene. You know how to renew yourself, and you have a sense of balance, and you're incredibly spiritually aware. You have these skills of the utmost factor where there's no reason why you have to vacillate on anything. You have everything you need to make decisive choices right out the gate. In seconds. Not minutes, not hours, not weeks, not months, not years, seconds. You have that ability. It doesn't mean you have to automatically hit that, but at least have the confidence that you can do it. Because with that, decisiveness will come. Eight of Pentacles. Diligence, passion. That's what this is talking about. With as much diligence and passion as the Knight of Pentacles has brought to the table, right? It's hard work. Show that same diligence and passion for the new adventure you want to go after, for the travel you want to experience, for the new job you want to have, for the new location you want to move to. Whatever it is, it's time for you to view it and go after it with like that same level of, we'll say, diligence and hard work, and just making it a priority. Make it a priority for yourself. Okay. I do want to get further clarification on the Empress card. So we'll do that. Six of Wands as our clarifying card. Six of Wands talks about victory. So this little, indecisive, am I going to be able to do this? Even the inkling of that as you're going through the Page of Wands, as you're pushing out your manifestation energy in the most way, no matter what, you're going to be victorious. This is a reminder. You're going to have success. You're going to accomplish what you set out to do. We hear the line like, what would you do if you're guaranteed to get what you want? Like if you're guaranteed success? That is literally the question for you because you have the card that says you're guaranteed success. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You're already guaranteed success, And if it's about getting clear, well, that's what this card is about. Working diligently to get clear about what you want as you're waiting for it to come in. Don't distract yourself with the grief necessarily or with the confusion and some of the difficulties that come, the sense of imbalance. Ignore all of that. You can ignore it in seconds. Quantum leap to your life here, quantum leap to the idea of you being the Page of Wands and what that represents for you. It represents that sense of freedom. Lean into that freedom. You have the freedom to be victorious in any way that you want. You're going to have success. You're going to accomplish everything that you want to accomplish. Any other clarifying cards we need on that? Three of Pentacles. Okay, so this is very significant because you have Three of Pentacles twice, here and here. 33 could come to mind. It's on top of a 3 card as well. So threes could be important to you. So just keep that in mind. You had, 3, 3, 3. Okay. When I see that come out, your teamwork card, again, 3 of Pentacles. Maybe it's time for you to step into really knowing that you can manifest with no limits and sharing ideas, working with some sort of community, embracing community, collaborating. It's time. So maybe whatever you want to go after would involve, a new community. It could involve collaboration. It could involve group manifestation, whatever that is for you. But this is confirmation. Having people in your life and bringing them into your next phase is important. As we established with the first phase, it's a lot of you kind of on your own. And that's nothing wrong with that. We accomplish so much on our own because we get clear on what we want and who we are. So this is not anything bad. You are right on time. It's just kind of confirming, hey, you may have a desire to step back out, to build new friendships. Go ahead and do it. Desire to move somewhere, but to kind of step into a new season of your life. And this is confirmation that you should be doing that. First card out, answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? So answering the call, what is your soul calling you to do? I would say really meditate on the Page of Wands. That can give you a lot of answers to that question. But walking away, if you want a journal prompt, that is something to journal about. What is your soul calling you to do? You are at top level energy. You have mastered, you have done your work, you've done a lot. Next card, Lumeria. Creating heaven on earth, it's happening. Look at that. So when we talk about answer the call, and this card follows up, really think about that. Answer the call, what is your soul calling you to do? And then you go into creating heaven on earth, it's happening. You could literally create your version of heaven on earth. If you were to just sit back and knowing you can kind of manifest anything and knowing that you're in this wonderful space of clarity, what would that look like for you? Starseed, what lights you up? They're really pushing you guys here, for sure. What's lighting you up? You're a starseed. Focus on getting excited about what's coming around the bend. Even your struggle, right? Even the challenge that came out in the first 2 cards, everything after that is pretty much confirmed. Hey, you can create whatever you want. So what do you want to create here? The initiation, rite of passage, crossing the threshold, which is on top of the card where we talked about Empress in reverse, where there's some overwhelm and anxiety. You have the ability to cross the threshold. Your rite of passage. So you're leaving this dark cave, hold it up again, and you're going into the light. This is your rite of passage moment. It's very exciting. So if we keep that in mind, it's really just on you. Come up with your wish list. Come up with your manifestation list. Maybe create a vision board, but you are the star. You are meant to be it. That's what this reading is about. Your talents, your abilities, you're the star. There's no question. Okay, Moonology deck. Be bold and make the first move. Cardinal moon. Sorry. Mercury retrograde. I'm misspeaking constantly here. Be bold and make the first move. It's literally on you. We were talking about making a vision board or making like writing, if you're more of a journaler, do that. If you're more of I just need to vocalize it out in voice notes, do it. Maybe write or talk or sing, write poetry, whatever it is, but envision a life, your heaven on earth. That's you making the first move. Put out in the universe what you want. And hold your vision. This is playing so well. Hold your vision, fixed moon. So you make the first move, and then you're holding your vision. What? Your vision board? I don't know. That came out so beautifully. Okay, let's see what else came out here. You and your loved ones are safe. New moon in Cancer. You could be a Cancer if you're watching this reading or have Cancer in your chart, or maybe the Cancer new moon will have some significance for you. If there's any questions about this reading and how you want to go, and especially if you want to move somewhere else, or you want to take a trip, or you want to take a risk, and you're worried about the impact to your loved ones, I see this card as a confirmation. Your loved ones will be fine. They'll be okay. You're okay to move, to hold your vision. You're okay because they're going to be safe. Last card. Expect powerful change, new moon eclipse. I think this card, in my opinion, is as powerful as that Tower card. You're going to have powerful changes in your life and beautiful changes. You just have to write the story. So go ahead and write it. Write out what you want. All right. One last card. I'm pulling it from the Goddess and Sirens Oracle deck. And I'm going to pull what goddess is kind of inspiring the journey. Maybe a goddess you can meditate on, research. I'll read a quick little line about her once we find out who it is. Goddess and Sirens. Okay. Not coming out as quickly as I had hoped. Janine d'Arc, Faith. Oh, this is a great one. Faith. Okay, let me pull that definition really quick. Well, not definition, but just a little more information on it. This is going to represent for you maybe some messaging that you can just kind of meditate on or just think about, but I find these cards are just so helpful. Okay. So I'll hold up the card as I read it. Hold on to your dreams even through adversity. Develop faith in yourself and in spiritual power. Trust is important. You must trust your own leadership abilities or improve them. Be not afraid. You were born for this. You were born for this. You're the star. And you're one of the most, we'll say, high-level people who have learned to balance so many things in your life. You have this. And remember, you're a leader. All right. I believe that concludes the reading, pile 3. Thank you so much for your time, for joining me. Please like, subscribe, and share this video if you enjoyed it. Shoot me a comment. Let me know if any of this resonated and what you thought of the reading. And also, I will be doing more readings, so make sure to check back in. But with that, thank you so much and have a great day. Take care.